the same APC that shocked Jonathan, did give him breathing space, that were praising as a bastion of opposition. Now, they are acting like this on their body when we criticize them. The truth is when we talk.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are the worst president the generations of Nigeria will ever talk about. You are the worst president. Hardship. People cannot even. The cost of living won't kill living. Now they threaten this girl. Now they threaten them. Say, man, take down that video. We are with you. I will personally, I will back you up. You hear me? Nothing they happen in this country today. This one will they live no be life. This one I die. What's that? Waiting will they live now and I die every day. You understand? Because the worst part of a war are hungry. The worst part of war are hungry. If they live na hungry, the whole soldiers will die. You hear me? So this in a war. This country is like they are putting us through secret war. We know if you understand. They want kill us, hardship. Poor they suffer. The rich is getting richer. The poor they suffer. Something need to be done.
Lagos-based National Youth Service Corps member Uche Ugwamaye was trending over the weekend after she expressed frustration in a viral video on TikTok over the high cost of living in Nigeria. Ugwamaye criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, calling him a terrible president and questioning what his administration is doing to address the economic crisis.
I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time when things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. Like, why is no one saying anything about it? Being an NYSC Corper, there's nothing beneficial about this whole NYSC thing. The money I spend on transportation is just more than the alawi the government gives me. Like, it doesn't, I can't keep up. Like, I'm so tired of this bill and I can't keep up. I am overwhelmed and I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It's too much and I wish that we would start calling the government out heads on. For example, Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Like, what are you doing to help us? What are you doing to help the economy? You are so terrible. I'm so sick and tired of Nigerians acting like we are strong and they say, oh, Nigerians, we are actually very strong. Oh, no matter how much they increase things, we still chest it. No, it is not cute. We are cowards.
All right, cute. It's not cute at all. Gen Z generation, they will speak. I mean, I feel like we're in the military era now at this point. Because, you know, in a surprise twist of events, shortly after that video gained traction, Ugwamaye alleged in another TikTok video that she began receiving threats, reportedly from NYSC officials, pressuring her to take down her video.
So 30 minutes ago, I just received a call from the NYSC board, starting with the secretariat before the LGI, and for the secretariat, for the NYSC secretariat, I'm going to attach what she said, some of the things she said, so you guys will hear. I wasn't insulting the president, ma. I was only asking for accountability.
Yes, hold down that rubbish you put there.
Ma, are you threatening me?
Hold down that rubbish. You are not talking to your mate.
She called me and she was shouting and she was threatening me to take down the video. And in my first mind, I'm like, wait, how did they get my phone number? And then I realized that every NYC Corper has to fill a file with your phone number and your address. I'm like, these people actually have my house address and they know where I'm staying. I never insulted the president. I said he's terrible. That is not an insult. It is a statement, and I did not go on and start saying, oh, Tinubu, you're this, you're that. I just said he's a terrible president. Why is there a problem that the NYC government, NYC secretariat, or NYC board will call me to threaten me? Like, why is that okay? That I can't speak up for something that is really hurting me.
Well, this was so sad to see. I mean, of course, reactions have trailed this video, and I'll start from Mr. Macaroni's tweet. He wrote on X, the DG coordinators and every official of NYSC, you cannot threaten, intimidate, or victimize any copper for expressing their view on the performance of the president. They are citizens with rights. The president is in office to serve the people, and every Nigerian, copper or not, has the right to hold their leaders accountable. Well, Peter Obi wrote a lengthy tweet, and I'll read his statement in part. He wrote, this pattern is not isolated. I too have been subjected to threats for daring to offer constructive suggestions and comments. I now face daily intimidation, harassment, and name-calling simply for expressing solution-based views on government policies. Such actions are antithetical to the principles of democracy. A government that silences its citizens is not democratic, or one that is subject to accountability and good governance and is most often corrupt. I urge the current administration to reflect deeply on its approach to dissent and recognize that constructive criticism is a cornerstone of democratic process. To all patriotic Nigerians, our nation's future and development depend on our collective courage to speak out against misgovernance, injustice, and intimidation. I mean, this is a democracy, and I believe Peter Obi's tweet there, and even Mr. Macaroni, re-echoed the rhetoric right there online. But I believe that, there were some comments about whether or not, because she's an NYSC Corper, she cannot make such comments against the state, because also in the video, I think she said something about Lagos State being a smelling state, and, I mean, I don't know your thoughts. Let me start with you. Why not?
All right,
because
so
I know you're passionate.
I think one of the things that is a hallmark of good leadership and democracy is the ability to take feedback, criticisms, and use it as a tool or a platform to better. So when someone comes to my state, Lagos State, for instance, and I'm proudly Lagosian, and they say that your state smells, the first thing I'm doing is not, keep quiet, you are evil for saying that. It's evaluate the situation. Is her statement true? Why has she come to say it? Why did she say that? So some people send me messages that, you are Lagosian, so you should be ashamed of yourself for not defending. It's not about defending. It's actually the love for the state that would make me want to see what outsiders perceive, and even inside people that live here. And if it's true, let's fix it. If Lagos is smelling, let's fix it. It's not a permanent thing. And we've often talked about refuse management, even the rivers and the streams. So it's her opinion, and she said that, and a number of people have also opined of the same thing. But now let me go to the main story around what you said about militarization of democracy, as we seem to see it in Nigeria. And it's such a sad situation. I'll take it from this angle. Ushe, as an NYSC, as a corper, would be in her early 20s. Maximum, we even look at her and the way she speaks, she's probably Gen Z. By the way, this is the Sorosoke generation. This is the coconut head generation. That's what they said during the NSAS. So if we're expecting the same reactions we used to from the millennials or baby boomers, wake up, Nigeria. Jima soon, like they'll say on the streets. Wake up. You don't handle their agitations or aggravations the way we used to do it in the past, where everybody is yes, sir, respect. They have changed. The world is a global village, so they're exposed to more cultures, they're exposed to more things, and so their reactions are different. You cannot silence this generation like that. There's now been a number of people coming out on TikTok, posting their own videos of their own experiences. Absolutely. If you think you're going to shut them down, guess what? They keep multiplying. We should learn from NSAS and not mismanage this. Having said that, we owe the youth an opportunity to speak out. We owe this lady an opportunity to express herself. As long as you're 18 years and above, you are an employer of the president. Absolutely. And he needs to recognize that. Criticism does not mean that you hate or you are a terrorist. It just means that your love for this nation will not make you keep quiet when you see bad things happening. Finally, we have seen a number of young people migrating abroad, and the president keeps going out to say that the young, our greatest asset in Nigeria are the youth. Yes. Let's not lose our youth by coming harsh and hard on them. Listen to them; they are the future. If they're saying things are bad, listen, take it as feedback, and even call them to a round table. Absolutely. Why are you spending money on a national youth conference if you're not willing to listen to the young people? If the young people take the platforms to speak, there's only as much as you can keep them quiet, and they should find that woman that threatened that woman. Nothing must happen to Shai.
Woman that threatened that woman. I think it is very important. But in the video, she made a lot of, she complained a lot, and a lot of people could relate to that. Obviously, she talked about the price of egg. She also talked about electricity. When she came back, they brought her bill. She couldn't even believe that it had gone, like it was double. So one of the reactions, before I come to you, Rufai, one of the reactions that trailed the story is a 2022 video of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then the APC presidential candidate, promising to provide constant electricity in the first term of his administration if he was elected president. Tinubu said during the campaign that if he didn't deliver on his promise, he should be voted out. Let's take a look.
By all means necessary, you must have electricity, and you will not pay for estimated bill anymore. A promise made will be a promise kept. If I don't keep the promise and I come back for second term, don't vote for me. That's the truth. Unless I give you adequate reasons why I couldn't deliver.
All right, electricity is one of the biggest problems at this point. I mean, in fairness to him, he's only done 18 months, right? So we're hoping that by the end of his first term, like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised, these our Band A electricity issues will be resolved. Rufai, on fire.
He's done 658 days.
658, okay.
Days. See, Oji, I don't know why people that criticize the loudest, when you criticize them, it's like pouring Atari on their body. It pepper and scratch them. In fact, people that criticize the loudest, when you criticize them, it's like pouring wirikwi. You know what you call it?
No, I don't know what that is.
Wirikwi. It's an itchy leaf.
Oh, really?
That we have,
okay.
Yoruba, it's called wirikwi. The same APC that shocked Jonathan, did give him breathing space, that we're praising as the bastion of opposition. Now, they are acting like this wirikwi on their body when we criticize them. The truth is when we talk. Oji, please, if you had pointed out one lie in what that Rayi girl said, I will condemn her. all the things she said is perfect. Because now they are carrying propaganda, food prices are going down, as egg prices gone down.
No.
The food prices have gone down. Has it gone down back to the 2023 level that President Tinubu met it? What a lot of Nigerians are just saying is quintessentially what Mama Rufai Oseni, Christy Tayo Oseni will always say. And my mother will always say, unquote, Orishabo Legbemi, Ojeshemi Boti Bami. Dear deity, if you cannot make my life better, return it me to where you met me. What we are just telling President Tinubu is, at least ensure that the prices go back to the prices you met foodstuff in 2023. The girl is complaining. The girl said this is the first time she's leaving her parents' home. And she has to pay bills herself. But she's now feeling what it is. Cross River Watch, I can't verify that story. I'm not very good, but Cross River Watch was saying this girl's father was a former immigration official that passed because he too went out to protest as regards a case where Nigeria failed them.
Really? Wow.
Yes, that's what Cross River Watch.
So she's an activist.
So that's what Cross River Watch was about. I've not independently verified the story, but I have to also, call Agba Jalingo and say, let's get to the end of that story. But when you look at it, she's talking about the things that are happening. Yes. And for those that have been criticizing her, that have been saying all sorts, that said, somebody also came out recently to say, once you sign up for NYSC, it's part of your code, you must not speak against the government. That's not true. Some people, they misrepresent facts. When you check the code, NYSC Act Section 13, it's not an offense under the NYSC bylaws criticizing the president or the government. So please, those that are misrepresenting facts should forget it. And the same NYSC has the nerve, the unmitigated temerity to threaten this girl. This same NYSC, that when you check one of their handbooks, they were telling you then that ensure you have somebody to call when they kidnap you so that you know how to pay ransom. People have been kidnapped in the NYSC. What did the NYSC do? Ayo, we shared the case the other day.
Thank you.
Till date, what has happened? A core member has been kidnapped. Did the NYSC do anything?
Her parents had to pay for it.
Her parents had to pay for the ransom.
Okay.
So this same NYSC, see, please, the truth is, I know criticisms can be like Wirikbe on the body of these people. But please, we are saying because we want the country to be better. I don't have anything against the APC or the PDP. We just want a better. If it's better, we'll be the first to praise you.
Constructive criticism is key. I'd like to take this story, Vimbai, before I come to you. In the meantime, former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai was trending over the weekend after he revealed that political leaders were aware of the controversy surrounding President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's academic records in Chicago before the 2023 presidential election, but still supported him. He said they hope Tinubu will replicate his achievements in Lagos at the national level. Well, El-Rufai spoke to BBC Hausa. Let me take some tweets. This is from Simon, who wrote, LOL. El-Rufai supporting Tinubu even with the certificate issues says a lot about El-Rufai's kind of person, and not just Tinubu alone. Politicians are self-centered and care less about the masses. Well, Toby wrote, please do not hobnob with politicians who have crooked past. El-Rufai is number one on that list. Look at him dancing offbeat here like Judah Iscariot. I believe he means Judas Iscariot. Well, he posted a video. Let's take a look at that video. It's a video back in 2022. Let me see you go lo 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 buga. This is the same man dancing during the campaign season with President Tinubu, saying he will never leave the APC. Now he's gone to the SDP and he's about to open all the cans. Open them, the can of worms.
We encourage it.
Yeah, I know you love that. But also, what does it show? It just shows that either El-Rufai cannot be trusted, politicians cannot be trusted, like the last Twitter user alluded to.
I believe it's Dele Farosimi who said we should not die in their war because they know themselves. At the center of this is integrity.
Yes.
Because, yes, you're now here calling people out and opening the can of worms and exposing all of the things that you were complicit to. You were part of this. But because suddenly, as much as he continues to deny that, no, it's not because, this administration doesn't favor him, it looks more and more daily like this is because he did not get that ministerial slot that he was vying for. Let's see what they're working towards and how this particular strategy towards 2027 will play out. But, OG, it points back to the issue of we too, as voters, as citizens, need to also focus on issues during elections. Absolutely. As opposed to, I was reading a book called, funny enough, the book is called Dictators, but it's around how leaders have built cults, personality cults, like Donald Trump, where we get to a point where people are no longer talking about issues. They just sort of blindly follow a personality because of their belief in that person. And really, this is a model that was created in political strategy in order for people not to focus on issues, in order for people to just blindly follow individuals. So I'm not saying there's anything related to dictatorship here, but what I'm saying is that we're seeing this trend where it's always about pushing personalities. No, it's guys, Baba, it's this, and it leads to the deterioration of the political space. Now, very quickly on the NYSC, on the Corper and so forth. Oji, I lived in Zimbabwe at a time. I will always speak about my support for Robert Mugabe. But one thing about Robert Mugabe is that you would not dare say his name in public. Even when you said his name in the house, you would whisper, the president, because you were scared of the consequences. That's number one. Number two, Uganda. I spent a lot of time in Uganda. Just dare say Museveni's name in public. You would never, even if you're behind closed doors, M7, the president. We can't allow Nigeria to get to a place where people cannot open their mouths to call the name of their leader. Yes. She has every right. Nobody is more Nigerian than the next person. Yes. She has every right to vocalize herself. Yes, she has her own unique way of vocalizing herself. But did she break any laws? No, she did not. She did not. So I think there's a conversation that needs to be had here around just allowing freedom of speech, allowing people are frustrated. This is a safer way for people to vent their frustration than, because remember already, we've seen the controversy around people planning protests. You've already said people can't protest because you now start calling it a coup, you start calling it several other things. So now people can't go on TikTok, and so where are we supposed to have an outlet to express our frustrations? Yes, so that's just very lastly, I know you need to go to your last story. Very lastly, there's now a conversation around NYSC itself.
That is
Several people are saying, is it still relevant? Should it still be in existence? Or how does it need to be amended to become relevant to this current time? Because it was a post-war initiative for unity. But in this day and age now, how can we reform it so that it can still be relevant to the values we're trying to achieve now?
Absolutely. Thank you, Vimbai, for sharing that experience about Mugabe. I mean, this absolutely is Nigeria, and we are practicing a democracy. It is not a dictatorship. And Ms. Ushie should be protected at all costs. In the meantime, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's son, Sheyi Tinubu, has praised his father as the greatest president the country has ever known, stating that he is the only leader who has created an economy that benefits everyone. He made a remark while speaking in Yobe State. Let's take a look.
They keep coming for me. They keep coming for my family. They keep coming for your father. They keep coming for Ashwaju, Bola Ahmed. The president in the history of Nigeria. The only president that has done your people enough when he was humble to when he became president. The only president that considered youth as student loans. The only president that created a platform for young people to thrive. The only president that has created an economy that benefits everybody. The only president that's not trying to enrich his own pocket. Are you telling me no?
All right there he was saying his father, the greatest president ever. Rufai, I guess I'll come to you and then Ayo really quickly. And both.
Real quickly. Opinions are free. Facts are sacred. I don't have a problem with a son being his father's hype man, but I deal with facts. If you ask Grok to substantiate most of the facts he has said, Grok will say otherwise. I'm talking about machine learning. How much more? You don't even need Grok. We are here. I have suffered more hardship. The value of my naira has gone down. Minimum wage is not minimum for a lot of people. There's suffering and hunger, food prices, increased electricity tariffs that didn't change the lives of people. The availability of the power is a problem. So I do not think, and based on empirical facts, that President Tinubu is the greatest president.
Right. Your thoughts?
But a son can be a hype man for his father. It's fine.
It's really expected. I mean, they'll call him.
But that's really what
if he didn't. But the truth is that when you're dealing with, you're not dealing with illiterates. You're dealing with people who are feeling the pinch of this government. And I want to reiterate that the fact that we talk about the true state of the economy is not because we hate the president or we just want to criticize him. It is so that things can get better. Please feel the pulse of the people. How much is food in the market? Do people have more access to education? He says the economy has benefited people across different ages. That's not actually true. Young, old people are complaining. Being power. Please let's take that feedback to the president so that we're not lying. And
this will be the beginning of revolution in this country. It will be the start of a revolution in this country. See, the country is making a lot of people do things they are not supposed to do because of their hardship. You see, and people know they even value school again. Once you don't sabi how to read and write now, they don't go see boys, they begin come out, go, they do HK, they are not even believing NYSC. Imagine person where they earn 33K for this kind of economy. Waiting 33K go do for you. How much be data for phone? Some data plan you are seeing a monthly data you are seeing the one of 15K. Then person where they earn 33K. If you use 15K swap your phone, how much you want to remember for? How much you want to shop? How much for transportation? How much for a pint of rice or a bag of gari or a cup of gari? How people want to survive for this kind of hardship in this country? Why is Nigeria so terrible and nobody is saying anything about it now? Some girls only waiting in Sabina to come shake nyash for TikTok. There are real situations where people supposed to handle. Nobody they talk. Nobody want talk anything. Now you shake nyash for TikTok. Now say we no fit afford the data again. Now so we go shake nyash till we no go fit buy the data again. What we dey buy for this country before? We go shake nyash for TikTok. Too stupid, a lot of stupid things. People should see this country is going out of hand. The government have to do something. The president himself, if she said you are terrible and that is what is making I want to threaten and say I will say it too. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are a terrible president. I will say it 500 times. You are a